what you don't realize when you are thinking about money is how much your childhood affects you. And so, how you were raised, how your experiences with money in your family and all of that, it really affects how you think about fundraising. So a lot of times we just think, okay, I'm working from a blank slate. Like I got this project or this idea or this event or whatever that you're trying to fundraise for. And what we're bringing into that moment is all the things that we were taught about money growing up. And so for some of us, it was money was in abundance. There was always opportunity. There was always somebody that had. It was around. It was never a scarce issue. It was talked about at the dinner table. It's a thing. Like people had money. It was no big deal. Then there's those of us that grew up maybe in poverty, lower middle class households or families where money wasn't talked about, where we played the lottery, where there was always a lot of tension around money and there was always limited money, never enough. And when you come to the idea of fundraising, a lot of times that's what shapes everything that you're thinking about fundraising. Man, I can't fundraise because I can't raise this money because ain't nobody got no money. Well, that's an assumption based on how you were raised and what you believe about money. Or, man, this is what Ha David say, this will be a breeze because you were exposed to people with money. But I want to address the fact that, listen, you've got to address your mentality when it comes to money. You got to get comfortable talking about finances and money and how it all flows together and how it works together. Because if you're uncomfortable, you're going to share the vision and the passion and the idea and all the stuff. And then when it's time to say, hey, we're trying to raise this amount of money, $50,000, $10,000, $500. We're trying to raise this amount. That's when all the red flags and you're going to get anxious and you're going to get tense. So I'm saying to you, before you even get to asking anybody about anything, ask yourself, what is my view of money? Do I have a scarcity mentality? Do I have an abundance mentality? Because it'll shape how you engage with the world and with this idea. Some of us won't even engage with it because we have resentment against people that have money because we feel like they're holding out on us. And then on the other side, we'll just assume that we are entitled to whatever they give. Like, all right, well, that's all they could give, that's whatever. And it's like, nah, all of those are ways in which we could address our issues, but I'm saying you can have confidence when you're asking and when you're sharing and all of those things. But first, you got to address your mentality when it comes to money. How comfortable are you? Can you have a free-flowing conversation about just how much money you have in your bank account, how much you're trying to raise? Or do you have one of those mentality like that's none of your business? Don't ask me about that. Those are the blockages to you being able to effectively fundraise, not the person on the other side of the table or the other side of the camera. So whatever it might be going on, I'm challenging you with this. You got to check your mentality. How were you raised? How was that fun? How is that fueling how you think about money? And for most of us, it starts in our mentality and not in the other people.